Okay, you guys. I mean, I think this is gonna be really fun. But I also think that I'm an idiot, so. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back. Today we are going to do something a little bit different. We're gonna do something a little bit fun. I think it's fun. I also think, you know, that I'm dumb. But hopefully you guys can enjoy this. I need you guys to like, I need you to go away. I need you guys to like get on board with me though, okay? 2013. Do y'all remember 2013? It was a different time. Today we are going to be roasting, discussing, loving everything, not everything, a lot of things that I purchased from Sephora in the last decade, from 2013 to 2019. So a couple of things to note here. Number one, I no longer shop at Sephora and I don't like support them because they kind of screwed me over. Like I was Rogue for like from the time they made Rogue to 2019. And like one day, completely out of the blue, they like shut down my account and then they refused to tell me why. And they kept telling me like, oh, it was fixed. And then like it was, so I had to call in customer service like so many times. And then like every time an order would like go through and be declined, it would be for like a way different charge for like $10, $13 more. And they'd say it was tax, but like the tax should have been like $2 or $3. So there's always like this like $10 discrepancy. It was bizarre. And then on top of that, they finally told me why they ended up blocking my account. And it was like, so my online account is blocked. I can still shop in store, but my online account is blocked because I moved. Like, and I moved multiple times, but I'm like, the account is like 10 years old. Like, I've moved a lot in 10 years. How is this like a security threat? Like it's the same person, it's the same information. Like I can confirm everything. I can confirm every address I've had. But apparently that was like too much for them. I don't know. All I know is that at Ulta, I have moved the same number of times and Ulta has not had an issue with it. It just irked me. And then it irked me that they like made it seem like it was my fault. Like, how dare you for moving? You should have known this was going to happen. It was the attitude for me. Okay. Anyways, this is not a bash Sephora. This is a bash my purchases at Sephora. And I made a lot of them. I was Rogue every year that they had Rogue from the time Rogue started to 2019. So today we're going to take a little trip down memory lane. I went onto the Sephora app. I had to re-download it because I don't have it downloaded on my phone. And like it took me forever to figure out where my past purchases were. But we're going to go through not every single one of them because we'd be here for like literal years. But we're going to go through some of my favorites, some of the most notable, some of the most you know, and we're just gonna talk about them and chit chat. I feel like this would be like a nice fun video. I need to film the shit that don't fit bag video. I've been working on that because I need to like figure out what all's in the bag. But I am gonna film that. I just kind of wanted a little bit of a break because I feel like we've been doing so much Project Pan stuff and I don't want that to like take over. So okay. Oh, and in case you guys are wondering, the eyeshadow for the day is the Picante Carity. I ended up actually hitting pan in the orange shade that I'm using on my lids. And I got the inspiration from this Vans shirt that I'm wearing because I put it on this morning and I was like, that's so cute. And it like totally matches some of the shades and Picante and Carity Picante. And I was like, let's just go ahead and we'll do that. So that's what we did. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to pop some pictures up on the screen. And let's roast some purchases. So the farthest back I could get on the app was August 17th, 2013. And I don't know, it's a bunch of like really weird palettes. There's the Sephora Collection Desert Sunset Eyeshadow and Blush Palette, the Stila Stylish and Seal Travel Palette, and then the Sephora Collection Pearlescent Palette for Brown Eyes. I have none of these anymore at all. I don't honestly remember the Sephora Collection palettes, but these Stila palettes were the shit. They were $10. They had a whole bunch of different countries. I loved those palettes. And I don't know why I don't have those anymore. Because, I mean, like, well, they don't make them anymore, but those were some bomb-ass palettes, you guys. Like, I feel really sad for the generation of, like, people who are obsessed with beauty that didn't get to try those because I loved those. And I'm sure I'm completely like misremembering them, but I remember loving them. And it was the 5 eyeshadows and then the bottom was a blush. Oh my god, I loved those. I also got a Bare Minerals Fab and a Flash collection and the Hello Kitty Charmy eyeshadow stick and cupcake. I don't know what that is. Honestly, I don't remember this at all. I remember that damn Bare Minerals lip gloss because that was in every Bare Minerals set, every Bare Minerals freebie for years, and I hated it. But the Hello Kitty Charmy eyeshadow stick, I honestly, I don't know what that is. I don't remember having that. I don't remember Hello Kitty being a brand at Sephora. You got me there. I also ordered the Sephora Collection Makeup Academy Blockbuster for $49.50. Do you guys remember these? Do they still do these? I honestly don't know. I know that Ulta still does stuff like this. And this one was like large and it sucked. It was just, I mean, everything was so patchy and chalky and the blushes like just didn't show up and it was, ugh. And this is actually, I think the last one of these that I purchased because I was like, okay, I can get a Stila $10 palette that works quite a bit better than this one. And I don't, why is this a thing? So I don't know why. And I knew at the time that they were not good quality. And I don't know why I purchased it. I think because I just saw it and my lizard brain was like, colors, you know? And I said colors. And I just liked colors. I don't know. Another thing that I was really obsessed with picking up at Sephora, this was probably my worst obsession and probably one of the reasons that I'm happiest I can no longer shop at Sephora, because for whatever reason I had a ridiculously hard time saying no to this stuff, would have been the Sephora Favorites collections. I bought almost every single one for a good like 2-3 years. It was ridiculous. I spent so much money on it. And like now, I mean like now half the shit in them isn't cruelty free, so it doesn't even matter. But it's such like the value is there if you'd use everything, but I never did. And I don't know, I have no idea why. So the first couple sets that I have proof that I purchased was on August 24th of 2013. And I bought the Draw the Line and the Give Me Some Lip. So the Draw the Line sets were the eyeliner sets. I always liked those because I was an eyeliner junkie. So those, I mean, I would still purchase those if I still shopped at Sephora. The Give Me Some Lip sets, it was such like this range of lip colors and textures and formulas and things like that. And I mean, I will say it did teach me a lot because it really did teach me the type of lip products that I liked. For example, those Tarte, what was it? The Tarte like Lip Surgence lip pencils. I didn't like those. They didn't give you enough color and like the matte ones were way too dry. You'll see I ended up purchasing more of those too though, and I don't know why. I also went through a phase where I was really obsessed with Benefit. I love Benefit. That is my biggest, Benefit, NARS, and MAC are my biggest going cruelty-free regrets, because if I could still use those, I would use those all the time. And Benefit came out with the Hello Flawless Powder Foundation. I got the shade I'm Cute as a Bunny Honey, and I think that was part of why I liked like this line, the Hello Flawless line for Benefit so much, because I loved the shade names. They were adorable. I ended up purchasing this powder a couple of times. I regret that not at all. It was a great powder. I loved the foundation. I loved the foundation so much. And so good. It was so good. So good. And then the Bare Minerals, the Star Treatment set, I kept this palette for way too long. Like just a ridiculously long time. I don't have it anymore and I never used it. I don't know why. I spent $25 on this set. I never used it. But Bare Minerals is one of those brands that like I kept trying. I've talked about this in Declutters before. Like I kept buying Bare Minerals stuff because like it was good stuff, but then I never reached for it because the packaging was boring. Oh, more Benefit. The Stay Flawless 15-Hour Primer. Do you guys remember this primer? I loved this primer. It was the first experience that I had had with like a stick primer. And look at those polka dots. I loved that. And then the Benefit Cosmetics Fake Up Under Eye Hydrating Concealer in 02 Medium. Okay. I hated this concealer. I thought it was so dumb. I get that it was hydrating, but there was like no coverage whatsoever. So it was weird, like why wouldn't they just make a hydrating balm? I didn't like it. It was really popular at the time. I mean, at least as far as I can remember, was it? As far as I can remember, it was really popular at the time, and I didn't like it, and I seriously, I purchased so many Sephora favorites. The lash stashes were superb. Another Give Me More lip. Oh, this is like a big one. Oh, it's got a lip tar in it. Do you guys remember the OCC? Oh, stop moving. The OCC lip tars. It's got a lip tar in it. This lip set. This is the one, because I ended up purchasing a shit ton of lip tars after this. And this is why. Because OCC lip tars were huge back in 2013. And I tried one in this set. And I mean, like, this is the first on paper notice that I have of me purchasing a lip tar. So I have to assume it came from this. Oh man, I miss those. That was good quality shit, you guys. That was good quality. And the rest of this, it's so light, pale pink. There's like a couple reds, a couple darker shades, but then the entire middle is just like that pale light pink that I don't like on myself. So this whole thing, why? They also did a BB Buzz, a BB cream, Sephora favorites, but it was like the Americanized BB cream. So like Too Faced had a BB cream. Stila, Boscia, and Dr. Jart had like skincare BB creams, and then the Smashbox Camera Ready BB cream, which is the only one from all of these that I still have. Like, not this particular one, but it's the only one that I actually remember liking enough that I've repurchased it now. Okay, this is from October 6th of 2013. This is the Urban Decay Ocho Loco 2 for $59. So I have a lot of Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencils, a lot of them, and I refuse to declutter them. And I also, like, I've used up a few of them over the years, but not that many. So there is a very good chance that some of the ones I still have are from like this collection in 2013, which would explain why they're starting to get dry. On October 6th of 2013, I purchased the Urban Decay Vice palette too. I actually just decluttered this one because I never reached for it and it was boring as hell, and I mean, ugh, I don't know, man. Like, I literally just decluttered this. I want to say in like the last eyeshadow declutter video that I did, because I had been holding on to it for years, even though I hated using it because it was boring as shit. I carried that thing around with me for 7 years. For 7 years. October 6th of 2013, the Fragrance Deluxe sampler for her. I loved these. These were the best because you got a whole bunch of different vials, and then you got a certificate to get a perfume from the thing of your choosing in the full size, and it was always way cheaper than just buying that perfume. Plus you got a whole bunch of samples. This is like what I miss most about Sephora. I love the Sephora favorites, but I really, 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 really love the fragrance ones because they're just such a good deal. And then I also picked up the KVD Vegan Beauty Lock-It Foundation in Light 49 Neutral. I don't know if this shade was supposed to be Light 49 Neutral, but that is so dark. I loved this foundation though, and they still make it, which is astounding to me. But this is like, this foundation will cover tattoos. It covers everything. It is so high coverage. It's very thick, I will say, but this is like, I still love this foundation. I don't have it. I haven't had it in years. So unless they have reformulated it, I still love this foundation. It's so good. Oh my God. I also picked up the KVD Vegan Beauty Lock-It Powder Foundation Medium 54. This is back when it was just Kat Von D and nobody knew what a psychopath she was. This foundation though also, I freaking loved. Like, this was such, the powder, the foundation, she had a concealer. I love the whole thing. This is the makeup I wore on my wedding day. Like, I loved it all. And then I also picked up the Tarte Pure Delights 8-piece Lip Surgeons lip set. So I went through a phase in my life. And so part of this video is also going to be about the things that I've learned. I went through a phase in my life where I wanted like just more makeup, and I'm slowly trying to like crawl my way out of that hole right now. But this is a good example of that because I never liked these Tarte Lip Surgeons lip tints, and yet I bought an 8-pack of minis. Like, what justification could I have had to buy? Why? Like, I never liked them, but I was so like, I wanted so much makeup and I wanted things to choose from even if I wasn't actually ever going to choose it. And that was so dumb. I was so dumb here you go, October 31st of 2013. We're still in 2013 and I'm skipping stuff. The Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics Lip Tar All-Star Mini times 12 set. 12 little teeny tiny lip tars that you're never gonna use up, because with lip tars you literally need like the smallest, I cannot even begin to describe to you how small of an amount you need of lip tars for $58. I will say I did love this set. I loved lip tars. I really, really did. I mean, did I need like this set with these different shades, half of which are like coral nude shades that I never wear? No. And that will get explained even more in just a moment. Oh my god, the Too Faced Loves Sephora 15 Years of Beauty palette. Do you guys remember this palette? I don't know where this went. I'm assuming at some point I decluttered it, and I regret that profusely, because this was so, it was like one of the Too Faced tin palettes, and it opened up and both sides had product in it. One side was all eyeshadows and then the other one was bronzer, blush, a brush, and then the eye primer, the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I freaking loved this. My only issue with it was the actual eyeshadows, because it was such a weird array of shades, and like I could never do anything with it because at the time I didn't know like how to put eyeshadows together. I mean, well, let's face it. But so I'm pretty sure I ended up decluttering it. More stuff I don't remember. In this order from November 17th, I bought the Buxom Red Hot set, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lavish set. Where did that go? And then a ton of Sephora Collection Creamy Body Wash caps. Every once in a while, Sephora would have stuff marked down, but like not like they would just go in and change the price of something, and they had changed the price of the NARS Cream Blush in Enchanted, which was, I mean, just a pale, like orangey shade, I guess, and it was just a very odd, like it, not for my skin tone, honey. For darker skin tones, it looked great. My skin tone, no. And they marked it down $10, and of course I purchased it because I was a NARS junkie who couldn't afford NARS, so let's go ahead. And here's the funny thing though, is I could have afforded NARS if I wasn't so obsessed with buying garbage. So, lesson learned there. Oh my god, oh, the Stila in the Garden, in the Moment, in the Lilac Driveway, whatever it was called, those palettes, I loved those, and I held on to those for much longer than I should have, because I genuinely love those freaking palettes. These were seriously some of my favorite palettes for the longest time, and I want to say these were probably like the first palettes that I like hit pan on like a regular basis. I love these palettes. They were cardboard, they fell apart really quickly, but they were seriously my favorites, and I ended up getting rid of them a year or two ago because they were just so old and like so beat up. But oh, I loved those palettes. Here's another NARS that got marked down to $10. It was a lip gloss in Bad Education. Back then I refused to wear lip gloss. I've never been a lip gloss fan, but now I will wear it sometimes, like, you know. And back then I refused to wear it altogether, except for this one. I actually really liked this shade. This was one of those times where the $10 deals from NARS worked out in my favor, and I really loved this lip gloss. But then I had to declutter it non-cruelty free. I don't even remember if it lasted that long, honestly, because obviously it was very old. The Urban Decay Anarchy face case. Hey, that was a good palette. I miss those face cases so much. I really do. February 20th of 2014, I bought a Sephora Collection Z palette, and then did what with it? Because I wasn't depotting anything. Where did it go? Like, what? I paid $18 for this thing, and then did what with it? What? Where? I don't have it. The Too Faced Plump Gloss and Glow. This came with the mascara. Love it. This, I don't even remember, like it was like the Too Faced Lip Injection Color Balm lip product. It was okay. And then those freaking big ass heart-shaped blush highlighter things. I loved those, but they were such a pain in the ass to store. No. I also, on March 4th, 2014, bought the Benefit Cosmetics The Big Easy Liquid to Powder SPF 35 Foundation in Medium. Not my shade, was way too yellow on me. And I paid full price for this, and I think I used it once, and this was definitely like a hype thing for me. Like, I don't know why this was an option in my world because it really shouldn't have been. I had zero interest in this, but everybody was talking about it at the time. Like this is when beauty blogs were like really big and all the beauty blogs were talking about it. And I ended up purchasing it and then never touched it. The Sephora Favorites Meet Your Match collection. This was cute because it was 3 different lip products with 3 different coordinating nail polishes. And at the time I was still using regular nail polish, so it made sense. Really half of my orders are Sephora favorites. This one I bought the Summer Crushes and it came with a sample of the Benefit Cosmetics Their Real Push-Up Liner. Do y'all remember that liner? Because that was garbage. I hated that liner. I don't know anybody who liked it and I don't know why. It was, and I don't even know, like, so it was like a pencil liner, the packaging was, or like a liquid liner or whatever, but then you pushed up the goo and then it was like a pomade, and it was a cool idea in theory, but in execution it didn't work, and it was very hard to just, and oh god, it was terrible. It was terrible. Okay, this is a set I would probably buy today. The Too Faced Paparazzi Red. I've literally tried to say this 8 times. The Too Faced Paparazzi Ready. Okay, 40 bucks. This came with a bronzer, a mascara, the Lash Gasm, which was a good mascara, a lip gloss, I don't care about that, like a mini of the Too Faced BB cream, and then an eyeliner. And I would probably buy that today because that's, I mean, that's a banging set. Like, that's really good. This is another set that I freaking love, the Fresh Sugar Lip Service. I bought this August 2nd of 2014. I loved Fresh lip products. They're not cruelty free, unfortunately, so I ended up the ones that I hadn't used up I ended up decluttering after I became cruelty free. There's so many Sephora favorite sets. It's honestly kind of ridiculous. Here we go, December 12th of 2014, almost an entire year later. I bought the OCC Lip Tar Matte Trio Set Vivid and the OCC Pros Picks Lip Tar sets. These were full-size lip tars. I loved these. I don't regret this at all. I loved the shades. The only thing I do regret is that lip tars, I don't know what they're made from, but after a couple of years they go rancid, and these were like like you could not use these up in time because you needed such a small amount. They lasted so long and they went like rancid way too quickly, and it was very frustrating as a lip tar lover. And then OCC, I think, like went under or something. Like, I don't think that OCC is a brand anymore because I know you can't buy lip tars anymore, and they did other stuff besides just lip tars. Man, that was such a good brand. April 20th of 2015. So I made an order December 12th of 2014, and then my next order was April 20th of 2015. So we learned to pace ourselves, kind of. I bought 2 contour palettes at once. I'm assuming this is when contour palettes were becoming very popular, because before that became a popular thing, it was just bronzer, and you would put bronzer, well, I would put bronzer all over my face, and I looked like a Oompa Loompa, the Snooki look. Okay, and so when contour palettes came out, everybody was like, oh, what is this? So the KVD Vegan Beauty Shade and Light Contour Palette, and then the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I might still have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I might have a different one because I may have used that one up. I always preferred the ABH to the Kat Von D, and I might have used enough of that up to quantify getting a second one. And I remember at the time you couldn't switch out the pans. It was just like a palette, and then NYX came out with one that it sucked, but it was like 25 bucks and you could switch out the pans. I had that one too. And it was such an interesting concept because there were so many shades and contour palettes that people couldn't use. Like, you couldn't use all the shades, and it was very interesting. The whole thing was very interesting, and oh my god, my first Hourglass purchase. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit for $80. This was a 2015 version. I used this entire palette. This was the 3rd or 4th palette I ever fully panned in my life because it doesn't happen very often. But I used this whole thing, and this is what got me started. No one would shut up about Hourglass. I mean, it was like everyone talked about it. And to this day, I mean, I still rave about it because their shit is the bomb. But that was a good one. It was a good palette. I stand by that decision. I also okay, so I bought the NARS Stephen Klein collaboration One Shocking Moment Cheek for $69 on November 30th of 2015. And I loved this palette. It was so beautiful. I ended up decluttering this when I went cruelty free because NARS is not cruelty free, and it broke my heart because I actually really did like this palette. I liked every shade in this palette. There were 2 bronzers, a highlight, and 4 blushes. I liked every shade of this palette. I like the packaging. This is one of my favorite face palettes to ever exist, and NARS is not cruelty free, and that killed me inside. I was so mad. Urban Decay Vice 4. This one I still have, actually. Once again, it's one that I don't use very often. I don't know why. I've never been like super drawn to the Urban Decay Vice palettes. But I would like to point out that the Urban Decay Naked palettes with half of the shades now run upwards of like $54. And this palette at regular price was $39 with 20 shades in it. Urban Decay Naked Smoky. I remember that because they had it on sale for $27 at the time. Was Vice regularly $39? I'm pretty sure. I remember it being like much cheaper, but the quality also like isn't as great. I don't know. Okay, Naked Smoky. I still have that palette because it's just great, you know. March 10th of 2017, the Play by Sephora monthly subscription box. I signed up for that. I hated Play by Sephora. The first couple months it was great. I will say they had the best, like, the information pamphlet things. They had the best information pamphlets. But it pissed me off because it came with a card to get like 100 bonus points. But then like you had to buy something from the box. But then they advertised the 100 bonus points as like an upsell of the box. But then like the fine print, you had to buy something. It was I didn't like that. And then it was repetitive. They would send out, like it wasn't customizable at all. Everybody got the same shit. And then they would send out repeats. So if you had it for more than like 4 or 5 months, you'd get repeats. And it was very bizarre. And I don't, like, this is kind of the beginning of the downfall for Sephora, I think. Because they did not handle that well at all. This is one of my favorite moments of me shopping at Sephora. I bought the Sephora collection, the Pantone Universe Correct and Conceal palette in light to medium, and then the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. I still have the Full Spectrum palette. Good palette, great. This concealer palette, I used up a good amount. I had hit pan on like half of this palette, right? But it was so much concealers, and I've learned over time, and I had 2 concealer palettes. It was this and then an 0 for 1, and the 0 for 1 I did fully pan. Like that one I used up completely. It was a Pan That palette a couple years ago. And it never, I don't like concealers in palettes. I'm not the biggest fan of like concealers in jars or anything either because they tend to be like so over the top thick. And I like the squeezy tubes and things like that, the wands better. But I'll still use like, you know, regular concealers and things like that. But a big concealer palette like this is so unnecessary. And I saw this and I was like, oh my god, I'll never have to buy another concealer again. And I don't know why. I genuinely thought this was gonna last me the rest of my life. And it never occurred to me that at a certain point, I mean, it's a cream product. Like, it's already gone. Okay, anyways. April 19th of 2017, one of my favorite hauls, okay? This was a doozy, man. So I got the Smashbox Masterclass Palette Lighting Theory. Something that no one person ever needs. Like this is, why? Why? Genuinely. So this came with cream color correctors and then like cream products and then like face products and then powder face products and then eyeshadows, and it was in this big ass book and it was just so over the top and ridiculous. I did like it. I think that I know when I was blogging I had it, and I think because when I first started YouTube I had started a channel, it was this channel, and then I ended up like deleting everything and being like, no, 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 this is terrible. And then like a year or so later, I was like, okay, let's give this another shot. And now here we are. But I had this for quite a while, and it was like relatively, it was in the last couple years. I think I ended up decluttering it because it was such an overwhelming palette, because it's ridiculous. This is like the higher end version of the Sephora Blockbuster kit from the beginning of this video. Oh my god. And then this is also when I bought the Sephora Collection Contour, Illuminate, and Blush palette that I ended up decluttering in my most recent face declutter because I don't support Sephora anymore. And I hardly ever use those. The pans were massive. They were cute palettes. I mean, I did like them. Those are $28 each. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is... okay. And then the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I still like this foundation. I just bought the matte one that they just came out with because I love the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. And then my next order, ironically, there was a Sephora Favorites, of course, and then the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer in Fair. This is obviously before they changed the packaging because that was recent. I love this concealer. This was from 2017. That might be the one I still have. I honestly don't know. And then the Benefit Cosmetics Cheek Parade. I bought every damn palette that Benefit came out with that had their boxed powders in them because I loved their boxed powders. I was such a Benefit junkie, I swear, and it broke my heart to like declutter all of them, but I knew if I didn't, like I wasn't actually going to use them up, you know? April 26th of 2018, I bought the ABH Aurora Glow Kit, the ABH Prism Eyeshadow Palette, and the NARS Danger Control Eyeshadow Palette. I still have both of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. The NARS Danger Control was a shitty palette. It got terrible reviews. I think Tintalia's, her blog, also gave it a terrible review. It was such a bad palette. It was like, it was one of the first NARS palettes that I'd ever seen go on clearance. Like, it was so bad, and that would be why. July 5th of 2018, I bought a couple of the Lancome Juicy Shakers. I ended up decluttering these, surprisingly not because Lancome is not cruelty free. They are not, but I hated these. To this day, I don't understand what the point of these was. It gave you like this really sheer kind of color. It was like, I don't know. I did not like those. I did not like those at all. In August of 2018, I bought more Hourglass stuff. I bought a full size of the Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Nude Bronze Light. I still have that. I love that bronzer. And then the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, Volume 1. I think I've used up a couple of these in my life. I don't know if this is the one that I have now or if I used this one up and then bought another one, but the one that I have now is almost gone. I have like one shade left that's not completely panned. When I tell you I like Hourglass, I mean I like Hourglass. December 8th of 2018, I bought the Amika Smooth Criminal Polished Perfection gift set. I still have a couple of the hair products from this, and I still have the like the brush, like the tool. I loved this. This was probably one of my favorite purchases from Sephora ever. December 21st, I got the Too Faced Then and Now eyeshadow palette and the Urban Decay Elements eyeshadow palette. I still have both of those. I love them. January 1st of 2019, I went to Sephora.com and I bought a Google Nest Hub. Why would I buy that from Sephora? Like, what? Why from Sephora? I think if I had to take a guess as to what I was thinking 2 years ago, it probably would have been because I could have gotten Sephora points for it. And if I was going to have to buy it anyways, I might as well get like points for it. Like, that is like a sample right there. And February 5th of 2019, I bought a Laura Mercier foundation and then somehow got a free full-size Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution lipstick in Walk of Shame. I used up that foundation last year, actually, in 2020, which I'm really proud of myself because I had that foundation for less than a year and I could never remember where I got it from. Apparently I got it from Sephora and I used that whole thing up, so go me. And I love that lipstick, so that was good. February 20th of 2019, I bought the Rita Hazan Root Concealer Touch Up Spray in dark brown / black. I believe this was a Jaclyn Hill recommendation. I still have it. I don't use it very often, but I still have it. That was my thing. April 26th of 2019, I bought a Fenty Sunstalker Instant Warmth Bronzer in Into Sun. I still have that. Love it. The Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil Freestyle Highlighter Palette. I ended up decluttering that. I was really excited about it. I was like really excited about it. You can still buy it on Sephora because it gave me the option to, it's like $15 now, I think. Well, it gave me the, they won't let me buy anything, but it likes to trick me into thinking that I can. And then the NARS Endless Orgasm Palette. The NARS Endless Orgasm Palette was, oh my god, it was all cream products. I loved it. I hit pan in like half the palette, I think. That was a good palette. I missed that palette. Oh. I also, wow, this was a large order. It's so funny to me because like these random impulse purchases ended up being the things that like I didn't like, right? And these orders where I bought a whole bunch at once tended to work out better because I liked way more of the products than I disliked. The First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer. I still have that. I still use that. I love it. The Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Sleeping Mask Set. I still have that eye mask. I still sleep with it. And I still have the sleeping mask too. It's the one that I'm using now because I put a bunch of samples into it and it's taking so long, so I'm working on it. The Natasha Denona Mini Bronze and Glow Cheek Duo. I've used this up completely. And the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I've used this up completely. The Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint Longwear Fluid Lip Color. This is one of my, this is my holy grail lip color on myself. I still have that. And then the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy Set Setting Spray. I still have that. I think I did a haul video on these products, on this particular haul. I wonder if it was because, I wonder if it was like one of the VIB sales or something. I have to assume if I bought this much in one go, I have to assume it was a VIB sale. In April, yeah. And my last order placed at Sephora online ever was August 1st, 2019. This is what killed it for me. This is what I bought a Sephora Collection Bump Bore Teaser Brush. It's a good possibility I still have that brush. I honestly don't know for sure, but that is the last thing that they let me buy. And then I tried to redeem points a couple weeks later for the $25 Rouge reward, and that's when it shut me off. Like, I would redeem the points for it, and I would get an email saying my order had been canceled. And that's when they were like, you've changed addresses too many times. And I was like, but you guys, like, it's not even that you won't even take my money. Like, you won't let me spend my points. And so it was just chaotic. And with that, I'm saying goodbye to Sephora for good. I don't plan on talking about you anymore because there's nothing left to say. I spent a shit ton of money at your store on a bunch of garbage. There were a few things, a few good things here and there, but there were so many favorite sets, you guys, and I can't tell you what happened to like a single one of them. Like, I genuinely, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so it's time. We're just gonna move on. Let me know how far back you guys can go. Like, can you guys see further than 2013? Can you see bad choices? Are you happy with your Sephora shopping history? Or do you want to roast yourself? If you want to roast yourself in the comments, it's okay. Like, I'm not gonna tell anybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I feel like this video was nice and cathartic. It's a little bit long, but I feel like it was good. You know, it's a good, just get out all those bad vibes, poke a little bit of fun at myself. And it is really interesting to see how my shopping habits have changed, like, over the years. And now that I can't shop at Sephora, I should probably do this at Ulta. I should probably go through my Ulta history. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And make sure you hit the bigger subscribe button if you'd like to see more of me and my new shopping habits. They're going to be new. We're working on it. Thank you. I'll see you guys later. Bye.